I got one more topic for sure that I want to hit on. Do you got anything else besides this one more thing I gotta?
Nah.
All right. So I got one more thing for you. Apparently, bro. Actually, no. I got two things. So we'll get on Shannon Sharpe real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, Shannon Sharpe is getting sued $50 million for raping and threatening to kill a woman after demanding complete control over her.
Damn.
So she's saying that like he raped her and all this other stuff. She's saying that he said, let me see if I can pull it up. Identified Jane Doe in court. He was controlling and verbal abusive. He demanded complete control over her time and body, expecting to be at his house on schedule at his command whenever he called. I'm like reading this. I'm like, geez. But Shannon Sharpe has said some stuff back. He's saying that this is an egregious attempt at blackmail. This lawsuit is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. So, Shannon Sharpe took to Instagram, and this man decided to post a couple of things that she was sharing to him, that she sent to him. So her name is Gabriela Zuniga.
Okay.
She said, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me.
That's what she said.
That's what she said to Shannon Sharpe.
And Shannon Sharpe released this.
Yes. I know you missed this big juicy ass, $25K for each cheek. First of all, not gonna lie to you, I don't think I'm paying for pussy. But that's regardless of the fact. She had a couple more little excerpts from her. She said, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to me. I want to put my tongue in your asshole and then marry you.
That's what Shannon Sharpe said.
No, that's what she's saying to him. She's saying to him, that's my daddy fuck. I want you to put a big black baby in me.
Yeah, what?
You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me.
It's crazy because this window was open. So, like...
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
No, I closed it.
Oh, that's the fan going?
Yeah.
I was about to say, yo, whoever's walking by and is hearing this...
It's probably like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion and misconduct, especially the gross live rape, and he will not submit to what he sees to be an egregious attempt at blackmail. And stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. And he looks forward to the vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts and the law.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like, stuff like this is kind of like, you can't really pick a side. Because you don't know who's telling the truth. You know?
Can't. And here's the thing. I typically try to believe women because, first of all, for those actual victims, it's difficult for them to even process what's happening and then report it and then, like, actually do something about it afterwards. Like, there's embarrassment, and then women try to take fault in it. They try to make it seem as if, like, they did something wrong when they didn't.
Right.
You know, they were taken advantage of, forced like into this. So it's not a woman's fault, you know, in these cases.
Yeah.
What is bad though is the women who see an opportunity and then like just see it as, oh, I'm gonna just get this lick off.
Take advantage.
Yeah. And it brings like, it makes the women who are actually going through such like a difficult process, you know, to actually stand up and be forward and say something, because you have so many women, you know, that lie about it just to get money. Yeah. Not saying that is the case in this situation, because hell, I don't know Shannon Sharpe. I just see him on TV. I see him, you know, when he says, you know, I don't care about a light socket, thunder pocket, flip phone for the rocket.
A little part of me
Lakers
looks
in
at
5.
a little part of me looks at him like,
Like what?
I don't know, you know, I can see, you know, he's fucking all roided up and shit.
But what does that mean though?
I don't know, you know, maybe he does get that off. You know, maybe he is a little too aggressive. Maybe he is,
No,
you know,
that-
whatever. I'm just saying, you never know.
But that's a word.
Devil's advocate.
Sure, we can say that, but that's one thing though that like I wouldn't want a woman to ever put on my jacket.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's just that's egregious.
Yeah.
Like to actually like be ever in a situation and then a woman saying that like that you forced her to, that makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, you know, and I'm not necessarily like saying that his character is like on that same status because again, I don't know him at all.
And that's the tricky thing with like
Public
the whole
figures.
like public figure celebrity drama
Yeah.
or whatever. It's just like, yo, we don't know this dude. You know
Facts.
what I mean? Like we see him on First Take and all these shows.
Yeah.
And we're in the sport, so we're, you know, kind of familiar with him.
Yeah.
Or whether it be any other celebrity that's kind of in our lives on a daily basis. We kind of maybe subconsciously kind of have a bias towards them because we enjoy their content. We enjoy their personality, whatever. But at the end of the day, we don't know them. When that camera goes off and they go home and everything else, we do not know these people. So that could be the worst person in the world, and we don't even know. And that goes for all these athletes, musicians,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. They could be the grimiest people in the world.
Yeah.
And we won't even know.
But that's what I'm saying though. But like, there's two sides of that because it's like, also it's like you may not necessarily see everything else that's going on because they could be doing more. They could be being better in like real life, you know. And just because you know they have an opportunity where they're like, yo, let me go ahead and smash some fine shit real quick, you know, boom, and then she's sitting over there like, oh, now that you did that, now I'm gonna sue you.
Yeah.
Or even if you like sat there, everything was cool, everything was consensual throughout that time, and then something happened between y'all, you end up smashing some other chick, she ended up getting pissed off, and it's like, you know what? Boom, I'm just gonna say that you raped me now.
Yeah. That's why I mean that's
Sick.
that's the unfortunate you know, reality with being a public figure, having money first and foremost. That's the biggest thing, having money, because that's people like that. That's what they're after. You know, yo, I can settle for $100,000, $200,000, $1 million. You know, I don't know how much money Shannon Sharpe has, but you know, $100,000.
He could get off all that, but even at the end of the day, though, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would spend my last dollar to fight everything the way I could before I sit there and just agree to a settlement.
You say that until
Nah.
Nah. I mean,
There's nothing, because at the end of the day, bro, there's no way anyone's ever going to sit there and try to put that on my jacket when I know damn sure that's not within my character.
So you gonna go broke?
Yes.
No, you're not.
I would go broke.
No, you're not.
I would rather be broke than be rich and have rape on my jacket.
No, you're not.
How are you gonna tell me what I would do? Me and you may have different morals, but that's one thing that a motherfucker will never say about me, or I might ever have that on my jacket.
If you're $100 million up,
Sure, great, yeah.
and your lawyer is
Yeah.
coming to you saying, "Yo, this person said this person said that,
Okay.
whatever." Even though you didn't do it, you know how many accusations that these celebrities probably have that we never heard about
Okay.
because it's just behind closed doors. They just get rid of it and it just be done with it. Because sometimes it's easier to just pay the $50,000. If you're, let's say, I don't want to say any names, but like Johnny Depp, right, or somebody that's like up, like
Okay.
yo, $500 million, $1 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 50 grand or a headache or something that you gotta deal with, yo, shut up. Here's 50 grand. You know what I mean? I know what you're after. Here's 50 grand. I know what you're trying to do. Here's 50 grand. Because that's real. Yeah, especially because you gotta think about it. Especially you gotta think about this. If you know that you didn't do it, right? It's like you didn't do it.
If you know you didn't do it, then what's the point of you sitting here trying to sit there and just pay someone off for that. I'm not
because to your point,
in a court of public opinion, when you sit there and you do the settlement,
right?
That's like, oh, I'm guilty.
Yeah, but
essentially, that's you being guilty,
right? But I guess you can't really go broke trying to fight if you're up $100 million, and nobody's really gonna go $100 million.
And legal fees?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what legal fees are, but
I don't know. I'll get Brian Steele. If I'm up like that, bro, I'm getting Brian Steele, and I'm gonna get like, first of all, the fact that you even sat there and did that. Now I'm getting you on slander. Now I'm you slandering my character. You're defamation of character.
Yeah.
Bro, no, bro. There's no way. I don't even give a fuck if I get any money out of you. But the fact that you would
you're not,
dare claim
my
that
point
about
is,
me,
you're not going from 100 million to 0 just to prove that shit.
what are the odds of that actually happening? But I am saying
when you said I'd rather go broke than whatever.
I would.
Nah.
Okay, fine then. You can run around here with rapists on your jacket. That shit will never be on mine.
But it wouldn't be on your jacket though.
It is on your.
So you think Shannon Sharpe, if he gets out of this, that's going to be on his like, you know what I mean, his coattail?
Again, I'm saying in the court of public opinion.
So people would think that. I guess.
Yes,
so, yeah.
people would think that. Just
but
like
people
several
could think
people,
all sorts of shit. Like if I know it's not true, bro. If I'm still getting this money and I know I'm not that, I'm not about to let somebody.
How you gonna get that money?
Huh?
How you gonna get that money?
Listen,
because you know how
all
many
I'm
things...
saying is once you start going, you're letting one person take your whole empire down.
Okay.
Over somebody that's just lying. I'm not saying this person's lying, but just hypothetically, if somebody was to lie, right? You're gonna get rid of your whole empire, right? Sabotage your whole empire, trying to prove one person wrong. Imagine, like hypothetically,
yes. If you say yes to one, if you say all right here to one person, then the next person shows up here.
That's true.
That's no.
I guess like Diddy and them, right?
Yes, like, and then you get a Rico. You fly one bitch out to Puerto Rico. You trying to just sit there, let her have a great experience, and then you smash while you out there or whatever. If you give her any bread for that throughout that time, now you out there.
That's why you just got
sex trafficking.
You got to mess with girls on your level, or just get married, because then you know that you just opening doors for a bunch of bull jive or bull mess, whatever. What does Shannon Sharpe say? Bull mess, or is that Anyways, go ahead.
I don't know, but I'm not gonna sit there and do all that and just sit there and just accept that. I can't. I cannot.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people, even like the Diddy thing, when no, that's what I was trying to say actually. In the court of public opinion, when people sit there and they perceive you in that light of you being that way, and then when everyone else around you sits, well, all the fans that are watching you sit there and assume that that's how you are, that's how you give it up, that money's gonna stop coming in. The sponsorships aren't gonna want to keep you there. That network's not gonna want to keep you there. Look at Jonathan Majors. He didn't even have a rape charge on him, but the fact that he sat there and ran away from that situation, he still got kicked out of a Marvel movie.
That's true.
So is someone sitting there throwing rape on his jacket?
Hold on. No. But that was different. There was actually photo or video of him like
running away.
Wasn't there? But wasn't he like? I think wasn't there something that like a video of him actually kind of like being physical and shit? No?
I think he was trying to get his phone back, or he was trying to get her in a taxi or something like that.
Well, I don't know.
But